She left me for a rich radio star. 3 years later, I was richer than her. And what I found out about them ruined everything. People think that breaking up for someone better is like a movie. Screaming, tears, slamming doors. Reality is quieter and 1,000 times more brutal. It's your phone staying dark while you refresh it every 30 seconds like an addict. It's friends suddenly walking on eggshells around you. It's 3 years of your life ending with one soft, almost gentle sentence over a half-eaten dinner. I think I need a different life. That's exactly what Nora said to me on a rainy Thursday in October. But what she said next is what changed my life completely. We were sitting in our tiny apartment, rain streaking the windows like tears I couldn't cry yet, cold garlic noodles between us, one candle dying in a pool of wax. She didn't cry, not one tear. That silence hit harder than any shouting match we'd ever had. People cry when they're still fighting inside. She was already gone. Then she dropped his name, Evan Vale. If you lived in our city, you knew that name. Every morning from 6 to 10, his voice was everywhere. In traffic jams, in kitchens, in offices. Warm, witty, slightly dangerous. The kind of voice that made you feel like he was talking only to you. And he wasn't just successful, he was rich. Penthouse over the river. Black car waiting downstairs. Charity galas with athletes and people who smiled like their lives were already solved.
Thank you. To the gallery reception.
I actually laughed. Right there at the table. An ugly, broken laugh. Because your brain does stupid things when it's shattering. You're leaving me
know everything, Nora.
for a radio host?
Why aren't you saying anything?
She looked at me for a long second and said the words that would haunt me for years. He's already where he wants to be. You're still becoming. Still becoming. When you're 29, broke, and freelancing, those two words feel like a knife in the ribs. Here's what nobody tells you about that moment. The humiliation doesn't hit all at once. It drips in slowly. First as shock, then as rage, then as this quiet, crushing voice in your head whispering, maybe she's right. I was freelancing in branding and video editing. Wobbly secondhand desk, bank account that looked like an apology, loose button on my only decent jacket that I kept promising to fix. Evan was already packaged, polished, sponsored, and untouchable. The first month I became a ghost, muted every chat, walked the city at night because being home felt like drowning. Every happy couple on the street felt like a personal attack. Then the updates started coming from mutual friends who didn't know how to act anymore. Nora was at the Harbor Gala with Evan. He introduced her to the station owner. Honestly, they look perfect. That's when everything shifted for me. I didn't realize it yet, but that humiliation was about to become the best data I'd ever get. I worked in branding. I could see exactly how Evan was built. Every photo, every clip, every appearance screamed one message. I have arrived. He wasn't just rich. He was positioned, branded, consistent, and I was still becoming. But here's the part that really burned. Instead of breaking me, it pissed me off. I made a rule that night. For 1 full year, I would stop pretending to be healed. I would become undeniable. I sold half my furniture the next weekend, cut every expense to the bone, woke up at 5:30 a.m. while Evan was probably sipping coffee in his glass studio. I studied like a maniac, high-ticket strategy, audience psychology, authority positioning, launch systems. No inspirational music, no montage, just cold, brutal, lonely repetition. Cold emails that vanished, pitches that got, "we'll circle back." Invoices ignored so long my landlord started joking about it. I wanted to scream some nights. I sat there thinking, she chose him because I'm still becoming? Fine, watch me finish. I didn't know it yet, but in less than 3 years, I would surpass him completely. 6 months in, I was in a rideshare, rain hammering the roof, radio on low. Evan's voice came through, laughing about second chances. He dropped a line. Some people don't miss you. They miss access to your light. I stared out the window and felt pure rage mixed with clarity. I didn't need to beat his money. I needed to beat his entire narrative. That's when everything changed. I niched down hard, stopped taking random jobs, started building complete authority systems for public-facing experts, coaches, doctors, lawyers, founders. I didn't just make pretty videos. I engineered trust, message, visual presence, launch sequences, audience psychology. I made talented people look as powerful as they actually were. One client became 3. 3 became 7. Referrals started coming from rooms I used to only dream about. But here's what nobody tells you about this phase. Even when the money starts coming in, the wound is still open. I replaced the wobbly desk, bought a real chair, learned what it felt like to order dinner without shame. Yet every night, Nora's voice still played in my head. You're still becoming. I didn't realize it yet, but the biggest test was coming. One of my biggest clients, a loud finance creator, got canceled overnight. Old clip resurfaced. Sponsors froze. Teams scattered. They called me in at 2 a.m. because I had built his entire narrative from scratch. That week destroyed me and rebuilt me at the same time. Public success is a sandcastle at high tide.
This data is wrong. Revise it
One
now.
wave, and everyone sees what was hollow.
3 statements are still off.
We worked
We have
around
to
the
fix this.
clock.
Keep going.
Statements, audience triage, long-form accountability, quiet partner outreach. It was brutal. I was running on coffee in pure spite. And somehow, we saved him. Word spread like wildfire in the Whisper network. There's a woman who knows how to rebuild trust when it all burns down. By the start of year 3, I had a small team, premium retainers, and the wait list that made me pinch myself every morning. I had just signed a national consulting contract to build executive media frameworks. I didn't know it yet, but the city was about to slam our worlds together. Big media and branding summit downtown. Black stage, perfect lights. I was speaking on trust in the attention economy. Evan Vale was the speaker right before me.
Thank you. It's an honor to be
He
here
looked
with
the
you
same
this
on the
evening.
outside, but I saw the cracks. Distracted eyes,
By optimizing
laugh
these
half
core
a beat late.
competencies, we can leverage
Nora
scalable
stood in the
solutions
back,
across the entire
alone,
portfolio.
expensive tired. I walked on stage after him. No revenge speech, just truth sharpened like a blade. Everyone chases reach. The real asset is trust. Reach gets you attention. Trust gets you invited back after you screw up. The room shifted. Then I dropped the line that people
We
still
stand
quote.
at a critical juncture.
A polished persona
What we
opens the door.
decide in this room
Only
tonight
substance
will echo
keeps
for
the room
generations.
from emptying.
Excellent panel tonight. Very
After the
thought-provoking.
panel, they lined up to talk to me.
When you were discussing
And
the
then
recent
Nora
trends,
walked
I
up in
found
the
that
hallway.
particularly insightful.
No music, no drama, just fluorescent light and cheap coffee smell. You were right, she said
There's nothing I
quietly.
can say to change your mind.
Becoming matters
No.
more than arriving.
I'm sorry, but
She
my
told me
mind is made
everything.
up.
Things with Evan had been cracking for over a year. Radio wasn't the fortress anymore. Podcasts, clips, algorithms. The ground was moving under him. He was still rich, still known, but unstable. 2 months later, I closed the biggest deal of my life. Multi-year contract to reposition a national media network with equity. On paper, I was now richer than Evan. Here's the one detail that made his choice completely backfire. He didn't just take Nora. He handed me the obsession that built my empire. The wound became the education. The insult became the blueprint. I saw him one last time at a private industry dinner. "Impressive run," he said. I smiled. Not a run, a build. What broke me wasn't losing Nora. It was hearing I was still becoming like it made me less. What built me was the ugly, relentless, unfashionable discipline that came after the humiliation. And the detail that changed everything was realizing success isn't talent or money. It's narrative, trust, positioning, and the ability to evolve when the world shifts under your feet. If you're in that season right now, when someone made you feel late, small, unfinished, still becoming, listen to me. That phrase isn't an insult. It's the most dangerous stage you can be in, because your story is still being written. Their judgment only freezes you if you accept it. Mine didn't freeze me, it trained me. And years later, when the contracts, the numbers, the rooms, and the respect all arrived, the best part wasn't having more than him. It was needing less from the people who once chose against me. That is the real win. If this story stayed with you, hit subscribe. It really helps. Next one is about the guy who laughed at my first pitch, then came begging for a job. See you there.